Hey, it's Tuesday tea time with Dorarena, and I want to welcome all our first time viewers and those that will be watching the replay and those that have been faithfully viewing us over the years. We are presented from Women of Wisdom. We are a nonprofit organization here to bridge the generational gap between the preteens and the older seasoned women. We are empowering with practical wisdom and building confidence so that we will know how to deal with the everyday affairs of life. How about that? So, we've been talking about relationships, and we're going to continue to talk about that tonight. And I always like to share with you my tea, so I'm going to share that with you tonight. I am doing something totally different. It's been a while since I had this tea, and hold on a minute, because it's one of those kind that you have to put in a strainer cup. Yes. Yeah. Okay, so here's my tea that I'm doing tonight. Is called green flower Rubles. I think I'm saying that right. This is by the T. Smith. So I want to give a shout out to Leanne for my tea. So I have quite a few different samples of tea from the T. Smith. And so the one that I really liked was the lemon chiffon. Oh my goodness, I don't even have any more. It was so good. So anyway, I put honey in my tea, and tonight, guess what? I got my blacksmith honey. So go and look him up. That's my son, blacksmith honey. So yeah, I'm trying to get my tea, my honey open so I can put. I hope that you have your beverages with you, okay? And that you fill your cup up with lots of wisdom tonight, no matter what you decide to drink, okay? Yay. All righty. This particular cup that I have is kind of more like heater container cup. Look at that. Tea time with Dorarena. Okay. Shout out to Bree for my cup. Okay. And I be stirring up my tea, and you can hear me stirring it up. My husband would say, I think you just like hearing that sound. I think what the real deal is that he doesn't like hearing it. Kind of like my teapot whistle. Nobody in the house like my teapot whistle but me. I just grew up with it, so I don't know. It's a thing for me. So here we go. Tea time. This is good. Now, what's in this? Okay, so let me show you what it looks like. See its little rounds, but it's a green rubus from South Africa flavored with peach and strawberry, sprinkled with rose and blue cornflower. It has a really good flavor to it. So you know what? We're gonna do a double tea time tonight. Mmm, that is good. I do like that. Thank you, Leanne. All right, so let's get right into our topic for relationships. Boom, we're talking about courting or dating. Which one do you think is best for you? Okay, courting or dating. Now let's look at what it means. Okay, let's look at our next slide. And today, some people attempt to define dating and courting as the same. many young individuals haven't even heard the term courting unless it's related to our judicial court system. Now, I ran into somebody and I was telling them about, courting, and they did not, young lady she didn't even know what I was talking about. She thought I was talking about something with the court system. And so, these things, you know, I I've said this before, there are some things that do need to change over time, and there's some things that should never change. And because we try to change everything, we're losing wisdom in the things that we are changing that should remain the same. There is wisdom in that. Okay, next slide. Okay, in dating, a wrong choice early on can limit your options for better partners later. So choose wisely. And I want to kind of dig into this a little bit more. And let's kind of look at, the definitions of what courting, the difference. Should you choose courting or dating? Let's look at the difference, okay? Because you're the one that has to decide what's best for you. But let me tell you this, if I had been taught this information when I was younger, I would have chose courting, because there is so much more benefits to courting. There's less drama, less headaches, less later on situations that you have to deal with. This thing really goes deep, okay? Because now we're digging into images and things that have been planted in your mind and in your head, and you got to deal with these things for the rest of your life. And some of these things came out of this decision of choosing either courting or dating. And courting, there's less issues. I'm just going to leave that with you. Okay, so now let's look at the definition. Courting involves getting to know someone deeply with the intentions of long-term commitment, whereas dating may include exploring different options without the immediate pressure to settle down. So one of the definitions that I looked up was talking about, dating involves, a 6 month, come on now, a 6 month relationship where you are intimately or sexually involved with one another. So that's what they're calling dating. And a lot of, we have portrayed courting as being old fashioned, but there are benefits to doing things the right way, okay? But you're the one that has to make that decision. So let's look at the next slide. It says, when you court someone, you're not merely looking for a partner, but also a companion for your life journey. Now, I have a little chart that I created that I want to share with you. And I'm just going to tell you, if you like, take a picture of it, and you can look at this different. But I'm going to show this now, and then I'll show it later. But let's look at some of the options here that you deal with dating versus courting, okay? So with dating, you got a lot of game playing. So hey, that goes both ways, because sometimes the society that we live in today, the women are gaming and the men are gaming. So you just got to be careful about what kind of lifestyle you choose to live, because really, if you think about it, whatever you put into it is what you're going to get back. So if gaming is your thing, then you're going to get game. That's how that goes. But if you're courting, it says vision building. You're building something together, a vision that can carry for a lifetime, and you're not rushing or pushing. You're not playing games with each other's emotions. The next one is pleasurable. Dating may be pleasurable, but only lasts for so long. All right. And there's no telling what you may get out of that at the time, but short time joy is not always the best joy. All right. Okay. Knowing each and courting, knowing each other's true intentions. Well, with courting, you're going to take your time to know this person and find out what their intentions are, and not just, jump into something. Courting is actually waiting and learning a person before you get intimately or sexually involved with them. Dating is, you just don't have that care. You know what I'm saying? You don't care whether the relationship really lasts long or not. You're just in it for what you can get out of it. And that's just how it is. But you need to talk with people and learn who they are before you get involved in relationships with people, because sometimes these relationships end up in death, because we don't know the person and we think that their jeans look nice or their eyes look nice, and we're getting involved and finding out that they got some kind of criminal record or something, and we don't even really know that person, and yet we're sharing our private jewels with people that shouldn't even be looking in our jury box. You hear what I'm saying? So anyway, let's continue with dating. This thing is really a thing for me. So dating ends with another date. So you date, you keep dating. You know what that means? That means that you're having multiple sexual partners. And those are things that when you do find the right person, those things are going to still come up in your mind and cause you to struggle with the person that was meant for you. And you can avoid that. I'm talking to some people that have never, had a sexual relationship, and we make being a virgin, we make that be a dirty thing. Do you know that's a clean thing? Don't you let anybody talk you into believing that being a virgin is a bad thing. You know what? You won't have any babies out of wedlock. You won't have to worry about the baby daddy not being there. Now, does that make sense or not? And so you got to choose for that yourself. But I'm just giving you practical wisdom to help you make the right decision so that you could live the best life to your highest potential and know how to deal with everyday life affairs correctly. Because remember, I told you, wisdom is the ability to use knowledge correctly. So practical wisdom is knowing how to just live practically in a wise way. Okay. So, dating may be eventful, exciting at the moment, but honey, those things die down. Okay. Uncommitment. And you know what? That was a thing for me. I just, I didn't really want to be committed. It was easy to just get out of the relationship. But oh my goodness, what you have to deal with later on when you do find the right person, and you got to fight with all these thoughts and stuff, when you can prevent that, that's the better way to live. So usually dating deals with being self-centered, because you're thinking about, well, what am I going to get? What have you done for me lately? That type of attitude, and they're in it for what they can get, you're in it for what you can get, and you know what, you Come on now. You end up getting things that you don't want. So you can prevent that. Okay, so look at some of the courting is deliberate. You decide your own self, this is how I'm going to do this. I'm going to find out, both of y'all are deliberate together. You can find out, okay, what do we want to do? How do we want to do this relationship? Find out all the information you can ahead of time. Accountability. Now you got somebody you can be accountable with, because we do need accountability partners to help us keep us, in check and help us to do life better. Because if you're going to eventually live up to your highest potential, you want somebody that's going to help you get there. Okay. Courting deals with commitment because you're committed to keep things, at a higher standard until you decide whether or not this person is not the one or is the one. And then you're not giving away anything, merchandise, you know what I'm saying, that they don't want to pay for, you know what I'm saying? So you can improve connection. And this is what I wanted to share with you. I guess we're going to have to continue this next week because I didn't even really get through all the stuff that I wanted to share with you. But I'm going to leave you with this. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out which slide. Let's do this slide. When you court someone, you're not merely okay, wait a minute. I shared that one with you already. Let's try this one. Okay, courting prioritizes the establishment of a strong foundation built on shared values, whereas dating is primary about exploring initial attraction. Okay, so we will come back next week and we will talk about courting or dating, whether you think that it's old fashioned or outdated, and then you can decide where's the wisdom in everything that I shared. Okay. So as Dorarena always tell you, I love you. And always, always, my friend, walk in wisdom. All right. You have a great night.